delighted to introduce our next guest. This is Cathy Jean Norman, and she was born in California and spent her early years in Caracas, Venezuela, until the age of 13. She describes her childhood as being surrounded by silent applause from a very encouraging family. She graduated from Unity Ministerial School, is that how you say it? In 1983, and went on to get two master's degrees, one in theology and the other in spiritual psychology. After 37 years of being in the ministry, Cathy took on a new endeavor, an endeavor in which she is encouraging family applaud loudly. She has a passion to bring sugar-free, gluten-free products to families and individuals who want a healthier lifestyle. Out of her passion and along with her business partner, Hope DeLong, they have entered and created keto baking mixes called It's All in the Mixx. And currently they are in over 500 markets across the nation, and they keep on growing beyond their wildest expectations. They also have another product, Birthright Bone Broth, which can currently be found at Whole Foods on the East Coast. Presently, she lives in the West Coast, in the Sea area called Ojai, California, with her husband, Steve, and their little white dogs, Pippa and Frankie, together with their fondness for healthy cooking, storytelling, and Sunday family dinners. Cathy and Steve love to travel and explore this marvelous planet that we call home. With that, Cathy, I welcome again.
Oh, very well done, Stephanie. Very
Oh,
well
thank
done.
you. Listen, I just speak the truth and I'm talking about you and so I'm excited for you to tell us more.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so if you could tell us a little bit more about your background in a little bit more detail, you can start at any age you choose. And then maybe tell us what the name It's All in the Mixx is, what that means.
All
What that's all
about.
about.
Oh, wonderful. Well, as you said, I've been in the ministry for 37 years, and a couple of years ago, I just had this pivot moment where I thought, well, I woke up one Sunday morning, I was about ready to give my sermon, and I actually heard a voice. You know that voice that it actually sounds like your voice, but it's it's something bigger that's pushing you. And I woke up on that Sunday and I just got the download of ministry is no longer yours to do. Which, when you've only been trained to do one thing, it's scary to hear that voice and to hear that kind of guidance. But one thing I do know is that if you follow your guidance, you will never be led astray, ever. So I went along with it, and consequently, it turned out beautifully because my dear friend Hope, I had made a lemon ricotta cake, and my husband had. I don't eat sugar, so my husband had tasted this lemon ricotta cake that I had made, and he just raved about it. So I sent it to my mom. My mom was actually meeting in a prayer group with Hope and her husband Tim, and we've been friends for a long time. But they're food brokers. They take other people's food and products to market. And she tasted the cake, and she got a download. She said, "I think I need to take Cathy on as my partner." She's never done that before, and we created It's All in the Mixx. A great story. I'm a storyteller. A great story as to how that name came into being. Her husband, Tim, is a food scientist. So she was asking me, I'm on the phone, on the road, and which is not legal, but I did it anyway. I'm talking on the phone and driving at the same time. And Hope said, or asked, what do you think we should name the company? And I said, gosh, I don't know. what's the process? And I asked Tim, I said, what's the process? Like, how does this go? And he'd say, Cathy, it's all in the mix. And he'd say that a couple times. And then in that moment when he said it again, I look across the street and there's a new store sign going up. Somebody's putting it up. It says co-mingle. It's all in the mix.
Oh, wow.
So you can't get a better sign from the universe than an actual sign.
Right.
Wow.
So for us, it means all in the mix, all cultures, all ways of being, all ways of thinking, and it's all in the mix. So to us, it's a really important name,
Yeah.
and that's why we have it's all in the mix.
The inclusivity is just a great principle and very much appreciated. And speaking of principles, can you tell us a little bit about the principles for running a successful company?
There are times, well, trust is number one,
Mm.
and risking is number two. There was a great quote that came out by J.K. Rowling that said, anything's possible if you've got enough nerve.
Mhm.
And so I take that to heart. And sometimes you think, oh my God, how's this going to work out? But both Hope and I invite the universe, God, however you want to, whatever is sacred to you, we invite that to go before us. Open the door, let the universe go before us and organize everything to our benefit. And sometimes things will come up where there's a challenge and we just open the door. Universe, you handle it, and with that, you see that there's an organizing principle of the universe bringing people, places, things, circumstances into alignment to what is next. And I've always lived by the one saying, it may not look good, but there's good in it. So if something doesn't look very good, it means it's organizing itself to the next good that you're supposed to go into.
Mhm.
So it's trust. You just got to trust.
Yeah, trust is important, and it makes us vulnerable, but that's not a bad thing, right?
It's not a bad thing at all. Not
Yeah.
at all. And if you just know that something good is right around the corner, we have so the marketing company that represents us is the largest natural foods company in the United States. They represent 40% of the products in Sprouts and in Whole Foods. Now talk about trust, because we weren't sure how we were going to even not only afford to get our products out there, but how we were going to get our products out there. So once again, open the door, let the organizing principle of the universe handle this. So Hope was actually representing another product. It wasn't ours. And she had a meeting with the president of Presence Marketing.
Mhm.
And they're walking through Whole Foods. And he said, Hope, I'm not really interested in this product that you're representing. They walked down the baking aisle and he said, what we really need are keto baking products. This was before keto became popular.
Oh, okay.
And she said, oh, my partner and I already have that. We were a done deal. People try to get in with this company, hundreds a month, and maybe they pick one or two or three a year. We were a done deal. So if you open up the door to allow the organizing principle of the universe to guide you to where you're going to be, serendipitous things are going to happen just like that. Now, the other part of it is we didn't know financially how we were going to afford to do this.
Mm.
Presence marketing. Now, for a minister, the name Presence, can't go wrong with that. And then they have an offshoot called Omnipresence. Hello. And they invest in companies that they believe in, and they chose to invest in our company. So we were, I mean, once again, just trust that there is something good that is constantly, if you resist, it can't come through.
Right. Right. You sourced it. You absolutely sourced it.
Yes, indeed.
Wow, that's a great story, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Can you talk a little bit more, a little bit more about your self-care rituals? And do you have any tips that you can share with our audience?
Yes. So
Uh, I see your eyes are just completely wide open when I asked you that question. So I'm excited. Let's hear it.
okay, it's all about how you start your day. It's all about how you start your day. And I know that you've got working moms, and they probably have to take care of the kids first thing in the morning. And, there's a lot of different things that need to be taken care of first thing in the morning. So I can give some really quick tips on if they don't have the time. I wake up really early in the morning. 4:35 is about my time, and then I do my meditation, my gratitude journal. But one of the things that I like to do, number one, don't listen to the news. That ain't good for you first thing in the morning. Because that if everything's energy, then you're just plugging in to an energy that sets your day.
Right.
You want to set it in a different way. So I don't listen to the news. People have to tell me what's going on. I have no idea. So give me a call if there's, a hurricane or something.
I've become the same way. I've really, in the last couple of months, I've become the same way, and my mental health is thriving because of it.
Yes,
So
indeed.
yeah,
Indeed.
yeah.
Good. Good.
We don't have a TV or cable in our house.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Good, good, good. I love that.
So we preferred that one. I think it just fell into it the last time. I think like the second or two times ago when we moved, we just left the TV in the basement and it just sat there for the longest time, and we didn't miss it.
Oh, I
Um,
love that. And
and
and, and peace reigns supreme, doesn't it? When
Yes.
you're not plugged into that. If you think about it, everything's energy. So if you're plugging into that news, you're plugging into really some negativity. I'm so proud of you guys. Good job. So the other thing that I do is, since everything is energy, I figure that uh, on planet Earth, there's a lot of good going on, and I plug into that. Um, Parents that have their firstborn child, the person who was just told "I love you" by someone that they really love and adore, the job offer. There's so many good things that are happening right at this moment all around the planet. And if you plug into that, it's kind of like putting your socket or your electrical extension into the socket of pure celebration and good. If you do that every day, it just washes over you. You extend that out to everyone that you come in contact with. It just makes for a really positive day. And even if something happens along the way, it kind of, it's like Teflon. It just kind of slips off. It doesn't need to stick.
Mhm.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
That's an easy one for us to remember. I appreciate that for sure.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so, with all of that, giving you a background of being a minister for over 30 something years, and now going into business and, taking that huge leap of faith and being supported in your whole journey with entrepreneurship, I have got to ask you, what does it really mean to be wealthy?
Oh, I love it. It's what it means to be wealthy is to have everything you need when you need it. So if you if just that you need a piece of cheese or whatever, and you have the ability to go get it or whatever. being able to love your loved ones, being able to just really be in gratitude for truly all the good that is in your life. So being wealthy is on every level, financially, health wise, good friends, um, and being in that sense of well being.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people think that it's money, and money is fantastic. It allows things to, it allows things to be a little easier,
Well,
definitely. But
yes.
if you focus just on that, then you forget all of this other great goodness that is surrounding you 24 hours a day. So it's just always there for you.
Yeah.
If you For me, I liken it to a fish in water, and many people don't know that they're in this energy of just like if a fish didn't know that it was in water. It's like us, there's this energy of pure wealth and well-being that surrounds us 24 hours a day, and most people swim around in it and they don't even know it's there.
Right.
Yes, I love it. And well, you know that our company is called Fit to Profit. And for us, the word fit is on all levels as well. So it's physical, mental, emotional. And the last one, which I really thought why I needed you to be on this show, is the spiritual piece.
Yeah.
And you shared already that the whole journey for you has been just being trusting and faithful and connected to your spirituality. And I just so believe that is one of the really big elements in building wealth. And ultimately, like, I find it for myself personally, and I speak for most of my clients too, that that piece is the most difficult to get to, right? It's physical, it's simply, eating healthy and such, emotional, you have the right relationships, and mental, there's so much about mental health out there that, like, that side I feel like really supported on. But the spiritual piece, it's very vast and is fascinating, and it's I love that you really know it from the doing your ministry and now doing what you do in business. I find it fascinating how you're honestly being used and tested for good. Like, you were in ministry for that many years and now you're in business, but you get to take whatever you practice and taught in your ministry in your business. So I really feel like this is why you're here in this and delivering this message of totally being connected, to yourself, to the source, whatever it may be. It could be God, it could be universe. And that is a huge piece. I find that honestly, entrepreneurship, I don't know if you probably believe this too, is that it's a spiritual experience.
Yes.
Like, you keep talking about opening doors and then like having been guided and directed. So that's why I'm now really interested in learning more. What is spiritual psychology? Because that's one
Oh,
of your masters.
yes,
And
indeed.
and it's almost like, is it you lived the life that you did doing ministry that many years because of your degree and what you've learned there? Or I want to find the dots and connect the dots in a way. I really find it fascinating because whatever you're doing right now, I feel like it's all connected for someone.
Yes, indeed. Well,
And
first of all,
Kathy, may I add on to that? Just
yes.
something to to address as well. Um, I'm curious how you approach people who are stuck on the idea that spirituality has to be religious.
Right.
And so if you could include that in your response, I think that a lot of our audience members, including myself, would really appreciate that.
Good, good, good. Well, I want to acknowledge you, Dee Dee. I love that you're bringing in the spiritual part into your self-care, into your business. That is huge. I really believe that we're in a place on planet Earth right now where something bigger than ourselves needs to take over. If our small minds, our resistance, our anger, our judgment or whatever, if that's taking over on planet Earth, we're not going to get anywhere. So I acknowledge you. I think that's just a fantastic way to do your business, and that you're serving so many people on a high level. That's amazing. So with that, Yes, I went to the school. It was in Santa Monica, and it's called. It was a master's class for spiritual psychology, and what that means, what they did for 2 years was they said you are to use yourself as your own laboratory.
Mm,
So we had to do our own inner work. And that did mean that there was some psychological things that we needed to let go of, do some forgiveness around that, but also create from a more loving space. And so the psychology that comes from that is when you approach other people, you also approach them as a beautiful spiritual and psychological person. Not that I do that every time, because there'll be people every once in a while that I don't even know that will push my buttons, and then I'm met with resistance. But what we did with spiritual psychology is that it's a practice. It's a practice with yourself. It's a practice that you do with other people. You see them as, for me as a child of God, someone that God loves just as much as me. Even if I don't agree with them,
Mhm.
God loves them equally. It's kind of hard when you've got some people that are doing some really nasty things on planet Earth, but God loves them too. So who am I to judge? And so it's a practice. It's a practice every single day. One of the things, as far as spirituality, is I I take on. Well, let me just put it this way. If you've read the book Think and Grow Rich, have you read that book? There's a part in there where Napoleon Hill says to take on your own board of directors.
mhm,
And so you have these imaginary board of directors, and they help to guide you spiritually, guide you, and listening to your intuitive guidance comes in the way of great joy. So you always follow your joy. Stephanie, I'm sure you followed your joy as you accepted being a co-host with Dee Dee. And Dee Dee, you followed your joy as you had this idea to bring out this type of ministry in a way, a podcast where you're helping a lot of different people. So if people just follow their joy, that is a type of spirituality, of guidance, if you will. So
mhm,
I have a board of directors of very famous entrepreneurs, if you will. One of them is my favorite. I'll show you his picture right here. This is JL Kraft.
Okay.
He he's the one that created Kraft, the company Kraft cheese,
Oh,
Kraft.
oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, he's on my board of directors. And the reason I chose him, if you look at different people as far as their biography, I chose him because he put God first in everything that he did. He wasn't doing very well at one point, and he was starting to fail in business, and he said, I need God as my partner. And so he brought God on as his partner, and as soon as he did, he started to succeed. So he's on my board. I've got the Rockefellers, the original one, on my board because he did the same thing. He took God on as his partner. So that's kind of I mean, you can take on anybody. You're taking on their energy, and they'll guide you. But that's I don't know if that answered any of your questions. I just felt guided to say that.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think it was very honestly it was very tangible and like it's very I want to say attainable,
Yeah.
because I always honestly I'm a novice in this whole space of being connected to faith and also practicing my faith. And I always thought, who am I listening to? And I'm always waiting for the voice, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But as you can see, you're sharing us with us that it could be a real person that you admire. It could be, in other words, it could be a mentor, it could be your hero, like whoever it is that you really believe in terms of who they are, their characters and their values. So that was very clear. I think that was very helpful, actually, even for me,
Oh,
as I'm
good.
working on this new journey of spirituality, is that I get to choose like real tangible people that I can really follow,
Yeah.
and until I can really practice it. And I love that you said, and it was confirmation for me to know that I'm actually allowing guidance, because yes, I am following my joy, because the whole time I'm like, I wasn't practicing. Was I really following what I was supposed to be doing? Things like that. But that was very clear. A really good affirmation for me to know that I'm actually am allowing to be guided, because I am doing
Absolutely.
exactly that. I'm just following what really sings to my heart, what really allow me just to be who I am. So like that was very, very helpful.
Oh, good, good, good. Yes, indeed. And you know what? What I've been told is the veil is so thin between this world and the afterworld. So you might as well ask for guidance on the other side, whether they're alive or not. The veil of energy is just all right here.
It's all in the mix.
It's all in the mix. Exactly.
It's all in the mix. I feel like I'm the one now bringing up a little bit more of the challenging questions, but if you could, I know you've kind of already addressed this, but how can attachment to how we want things to look be our worst enemy?
Exactly. Oh, I love that question, because attachment, if you're attached to the outcome, the universe has ingenious ways of bringing you something that's beyond your wildest dreams. And if you're attached to, it's got to look this way, then you're micromanaging something that can bring greatness to you. You're blocking it in a way. I never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that I would be a co-owner of a business.
Yeah.
Never. I always thought I was going to retire a minister and then that was it. But when you let go and stop micromanaging, which is what happened to me, it was in 2018. I decided that I was going to do my goals and intentions differently. I wasn't going to say, this is what I want, and I want it by December the 31st, 2018, which used to be how I would do things. And I would micromanage it. I would say, this is the outcome. I'm attached to this outcome. Well, that year I decided, no, what if I let the universe bring me something even greater? I don't know what that is, but what if I just let the universe do its magic?
Yeah.
And what started to happen, when that happens, when you're not attached to the outcome, you start getting a little restless. And I was getting restless in the ministry, but I thought, well, this is all I know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know how to do anything else. So,
And the what ifs are what, people need to, attach themselves to, or be open to the possibility of, right? What if this, what if that? So that's a great way of putting it.
it is so true, Stephanie. It's like, what if instead of being attached to, the good looking man that lives next door,
How did you know?
Remember,
I'm just tuning in. I'm just tuning in.
yeah, Cathy is connected to the source.
Yeah. But what if instead of being attached to that, I've got to have that man, what if you just opened up to, oh, I'd love to have the most beautiful, loving relationship. That's
Mhm.
it. No attachment to how it's going to look or anything like that. And remember that if something changes, it's if something doesn't look good, remember, if it doesn't, it may not look good, but there's good in it.
Mhm.
Then it just means that something is shifting so that greater thing can come in. If you're not attached, then that greater thing is coming in. So it's doing affirmations differently. You want a loving relationship. You don't want that relationship. You just want a loving relationship. I want a successful life. I don't know how that's going to look, but you just let it be, and things will shift.
Right.
It's sometimes it's not an easy road.
Right. And nothing is necessarily easy, but if we follow the truth, right, that's going to help make things a little bit easier.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is so true.
So, Cathy, I mean, I feel like we could talk for hours, all day, all weekend, have a sleepover. But I want to wrap things up just a little bit. What do you think the future looks like for Cathy and for your audience? And how can our audience, find you? And what can we do to plug people in?
Oh, fabulous. I love that you asked that. So the
Yeah.
future, again, I'm not attached to the outcome. What I do know, my heart tells me this, that this business is just, it's a platform to be of service in a greater way. Now, how that looks, I'm letting the universe handle that. But it's pretty magical. I gotta say, so far, it's been the everything has just been so divinely orchestrated. So I'm letting go of the reins. But the future I know is very bright, very successful, and very fun. I'm learning a lot. And what was the other question? Oh, where to get a hold of me?
Yeah. We want to know everything that you have to offer that's tangible and we can listen to and read and dive into. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. So yes, so you can get a hold of us at it's all in the mix 2x's.com.
Okay.
And oh, the 2x's mean something. We couldn't get the domain of 1x. And I thought, okay, we'll go with 2x's. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, x must mean something. So I looked it up and it means Christ. So for a minister like me, like Christmas, Xmas, I thought, oh, that means something to me. So so we got double the divinity, if you will, with the 2x's. So it's all in the mix.com. That's where you can, that's our website. Our YouTube channel, it's all in the mix / Cathy Jean Norman. You can go there. I've got a number of videos there. And then I have a book, and the book is Sermon on the Molehill. And you can get a hold of that book on Amazon, and it's doing very well. That book, I have dyslexia. It's bad. It's not
Oh, wow.
not a good. It's pretty severe. So for me to be able to write a book, that was magical, because a dear friend of mine, Noelle, has written a number of books. She took it over and edited it for me. So there you have it. Anything's possible if you've got enough nerve.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
What a great way to wrap this up, right? Anything's
Yes.
capable, or that's
Anything's possible if you've got enough nerve.
anything's
Definitely.
possible. Got
I
it.
got 3 things from this talk, Cathy. It's that anything is possible if you have the nerve. You have to trust. It's all in the mix.
Ah, girl, thank you.
See,
I
Cathy,
love
we
it.
were listening.
I love it. I love it.
Thank
God
you.
bless you both. You
Yes.
two are such a delight, and
Oh,
I love being a part of this, and including me in your wonderful audience. I know that they are just superb, each one of them in their own way.
yes. And thank you so much for joining us. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Really.
Oh, it's my joy.
Yeah.
Definitely my joy.
Thank
Wonderful.
you so much. And I can personally say to all my friends, I have some friends who are on the keto diet, and I can say, you know where to go. I'm going to tell them all about it. And I can even say that I know the owner of the company personally. So I'm proud to know you, Cathy. Thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much
you.
for all that you did in your years of ministry, for all that you do now for the planet and for the people and for all of us. I really appreciate you and thank you for your time.
Oh, it's my joy, truly, truly. All right, take care.
Yes,
Thank
you too,
you.
you.
Cathy. Bye-bye.
Bye.